So this video is gonna be about like physically. So this is about how to get in shape, right? How do you get in shape fast? Now, the reason why I was contemplating on saying fast is because that doesn't exist. It just depends on how hard you put in the work and how much you put in the work. The more work you put in, the harder you train, then the faster the results are gonna come. Now, if you train like a damn female, right, then everything it's not gonna come quick. So how do you train and how do you get in shape easy? Well, not easy, but faster, right? So step one, like I just said, you want to train extremely hard. You want to push pat, bro. I'm telling you, whatever you're doing. Now I'm gonna tell you about, like, if you're doing calisthenics, like basically you're training at home, like you don't have weights or none of that, and I'm gonna then tell you about weights. So with weights, if you're training with weights, you're gonna gain muscle a lot faster than if you're training calisthenics or like without weight, right? See, a lot of calisthenics people, they have this ideology that, oh, you can get big just by doing calisthenics. Look at people in jail and all that. Yeah, that is true. Now, the thing about calisthenics, if you want to get big doing calisthenics, if your goal is to actually be strong and to actually be like huge, right? Then you could train with like weights, right? You want to train with extremely heavy weights. But if your goal is actually like functionality and you want to be like a fighter type of that's basically your intention, you want to be more like a fighter type of person, then you most definitely want to be doing calisthenics. You want to go all out on calisthenics. But what people actually fail to realize is that you can actually combine both. So instead of being one-sided, I talked about that in one of my past videos. That's where the pineal gland is at. It's in the middle, right? You can't just be one-sided and expect to have balance. If you don't have balance, then you fall, right? So you're gonna fall physically. Not literally, but you know what I mean. Your physique is gonna take a toll. It's gonna fall if you don't train properly. So I want you to combine both. This is literally the superpower of the fitness industry. The superpower is literally training weighted calisthenics. So what does this mean? If you're doing dips, you're doing weighted dips. If you're doing pull-ups, you have weights. You know those people that have the weighted belt with the chains and all of that, and then they hook it onto like weight plates and then they do their exercise. That's what you want to be doing. Squats is weighted calisthenics. You're doing a squatting movement. So calisthenics is basically you moving your body throughout space, and weightlifting is you moving weight throughout space. So if you're doing weighted calisthenics, then you're doing both. You're moving your body as well as you're moving weight throughout space. So with squats now, like the barbell back squat, when you put weights on your back and you squat, you're doing calisthenics, right? If you took away the weights, you're still doing squats, you're still doing calisthenics, but you added weight to it, so it gives you resistance. Now you're doing resistance training, so now you're going to gain muscle, because the muscle, how muscle even works, I don't even think I have to teach you how muscle works. A lot of people, by now you should already know how it works, but how muscle builds is literally you tear it, and then you sleep. Well, you eat good, eat enough protein, eat healthy fats, and then you sleep, and then the muscle rebuilds bigger. So basically, primarily, on a primal level, or scientifically, if you want to say it like that, basically, when we were born basically to go out and hunt and stuff like that. So a lot of the time we would get injured. We might have to lift something heavy. Like, let's just say we just killed an animal. Our ancestors would have to lift that animal and carry it all the way back home. So I'm talking about that ancestor would have to walk miles all the way back home, and a lot of them, if they were strong, then they would carry the animal on their back because it's easier rather than just dragging the animal on the floor. So they would put it on their back, which is resistance training. So you're walking with an animal or something heavy on your back. So what happens is it's so frustrating on the muscles, and then the muscles actually become sore because it's like, whoa, this animal is so heavy. This thing is so heavy, right? So your body then thinks, oh, if we want to survive, we need to have stronger muscles so that way we can bring food all the way back home. So that's what your body does. It basically rebuilds the muscle a lot stronger to help you manage heavy weight. So in the fitness industry, this is what we take advantage of. So you're basically just tricking your body in a way, right? For your own like egotistical goals. If you want to say that, literally, that's basically what you're doing. So you want to have big muscles and you want to look good and all that. You want to be in shape, right? So what you do is you lift extremely heavy weight, and then your muscle can't handle it because it's not strong enough, so it becomes sore, which is just the muscle tearing. And then the muscle your brain signals all the neuroplasticity and everything. It signals that, okay, we just tore our muscles, so something that we just did, or like this movement, is extremely mentally and physically tasking on us. So we need to have our muscles become bigger and stronger in order to fight against this resistance that we're facing. And especially if you're training daily, or like 5 times a week, 4 times a week, whatever, then you're training it regularly. See, this is why consistency is important when you work out. Because if you don't train every day, then your body has no reason to rebuild the muscle. It thinks, okay, this was just a 1-day thing, or this was just a 2-day thing. Now, if you're doing it like 4 times a week, 5 times a week, some people even go 6 times a week and rest on Sunday. But whatever your split is, right? So if you're doing it 4 or 5 times a week, then your body says, okay, this is something that's extremely regular. We're regularly experiencing like doing a particular movement, and it's mentally and physically tasking on us. So what we should do is we should rebuild that muscle extremely strong. Now, for it to be able to rebuild the muscle stronger, you have to have your diet. Right? That's where it's going to get the nutrients from and all of the fat and everything. So you want to have a diet that's high in fat, healthy fats, obviously. So this is things like red meat, eggs, and all of that. And cholesterol. Cholesterol is important. Healthy, organic cholesterol, which comes from eggs, not cholesterol that actually clogs your arteries and comes from like Snickers and Skittles and all of that. We're not eating none of that, right? We're just eating real healthy food. So you eat eggs, you eat red meat, and you can like literally just eat like chicken and stuff as well. And basically your body's gonna take the nutrients from it, and then that's what it's gonna use to rebuild the muscle. Now, what the main thing that it uses, the main macronutrient that it uses to rebuild the muscle is protein. So this is why everybody talks about protein, right? So yeah, you must make sure that you're getting your protein in. And with us being extremely technologically advanced, then we can actually track our protein intake. So we could actually know exactly how much protein our body needs, exactly how much calories our body needs. So let's touch on calories. Calories basically just means basically your body gains calories from whatever you eat, right? So whatever you eat, your body gains calories, and calories is basically responsible for your weight. Obviously, there's other things that it's responsible for, but when you're talking fitness, on a fitness level, it's responsible for your weight. So the more calories you eat, the more weight you're going to gain. The less calories you eat, the less weight you're going to gain. And you're going to lose fat, right? You're going to burn weight. No, you're not going to lose fat, my bad. But you're going to basically lose weight. Right? So when someone is bulking, you know the term bulking and cutting. When they're bulking, it just means they're eating a lot more. So when you eat a lot more, your body gets more calories, and then you basically gain weight, and you kind of seem fatter, right? And then when you're cutting, you eat less calories, and then your body loses weight. So you basically get a bit skinnier, or you get more lean. A lot of people, they like the lean cut type of look because it's aesthetic. Now bulking, on the other hand, it just makes you look like big and strong, but it doesn't really make you look aesthetic because you don't have like abs and all of that, right? So if your goal is just to look good, then you want to maintain a certain calorie deficit that doesn't make you go overboard to gain weight, right? And if you're trying to actually gain weight and actually just bulk up and be stronger, then you want to eat higher calories. You want to eat more, at least like 200 to 300 more calories then you should actually 300 to 400 more calories. I'd actually even say 500 more calories than you're supposed to be intaking. So how do you track that? You can literally just go on Google and type up caloric calculator, and it'll basically, you just put in your weight, your current weight, and your fitness level, like how much times you train and all that, and it'll calculate it for you. So you'll know exactly how much calories that you need in a day. And then from there, that's how you determine if you want to cut or bulk. So if you want to cut, then you just eat less than the calories that you saw from the calculator, and like about 300 to 400 less. And if it's the gain, then you do 300 to 400 more. So now let's talk about like the actual physicality, like what workouts do you do and all of that. Now I'm gonna have a specific, I want to have a specific video for the workouts, right? Now a lot of you, you might feel like hanging, you might feel like I just left you hanging because I didn't give you all of the information, and you want to know how to exactly train and all of that, right? Now I'm gonna give you some, but I'm gonna obviously make like a specific video in the future for this, right? So, or you could look at my first few videos. Like I have a chest workout, a shoulder workout, a back workout, a leg workout. Just look at my first 4 videos, I believe, right? So how do you actually train, right? So like I said, weighted calisthenics. Literally, you don't need, it's nothing more, nothing less. Weighted calisthenics. You get the benefits of it physically, as in you look good and all of that, and you also get the benefits of it mentally, because your mind becomes stronger when you're training weighted calisthenics, right? And because it's not all of this lazy bodybuilder workouts. I'm gonna have to get on y'all. Most bodybuilders, I have to get on y'all right now. This is a side rant, but I gotta talk about y'all be sitting down and just like, you just sit down on a bench. You know this exercise where it's basically dumbbell curls, right? But they sit down on the bench and lay down, and they basically do dumbbell curls but laying down on a bench, right? I guess it's seated curls, it's called. But this exercise is literally so non-functional. By doing seated dumbbell curls, you're not going to be able to fight someone, but to protect your family. By doing seated dumbbell curls, you're not going to have better heart health. You know what I mean? It just does not, it's not functional. It's just specifically for looks and just to look good. But me, I don't see the reason or the point in looking good when you're not even able to fight. You're not even able to protect people. It's just all ego. It's basically, no offense, but it's basically like you just want to be more of a female, right? For all of the men that's watching, if you're like a male bodybuilder and all that, it's more like you want to be more like a female. It's basically like a beauty pageant type of thing, right? Or like, it's basically like makeup. You know how females always want to wear makeup because they're insecure about their looks, so they use makeup to enhance it. It's basically the same thing that us guys, well, not me, but most bodybuilder type of guys do. They're insecure about their physique. They look skinny or they look fat, so they want to just look good, right, to attract people. But it's just all attraction, right? Are you actually a good person? Are you actually a healthy, strong person? A lot of these bodybuilders online, they just tell you to eat pizza to get extra calories and to bulk, and they tell you all of this nonsense, and then within a few months they either pass away or they end up in the hospital with some severe kidney disabilities and all of that stuff. And I don't want that for my viewers. So point blank period, do weighted calisthenics. You're training for, you get the both sides. You get looks, you actually become stronger, and it also helps you with combat as well if you're a fighter, right? So you want to do weighted pull-ups. You can invest in a dip belt, it's called, or a weight belt for like weights and stuff, but I think it's mainly called a dip belt. So you know dips, the exercise, so you want to invest in a dips belt, so it's gonna have the chain and it goes around your waist. Then you want to get some heavy weighted plates, so you want to do it with every exercise. So you're doing push-ups, you put the weights on your back. You're doing pull-ups, you basically put on the weight belt and then you hang the weights and then you just do pull-ups with it. And if you're doing like chin ups, you do the same thing. You're doing muscle ups, you do the same thing. And literally, you actually become stronger. And then you want to do handstand push-ups as well. You can start off by doing it up against a wall until you actually become stronger, right? And you got to do the same thing for legs. I can't even, should I even have to tell you to not skip legs? You have to do legs. You have to. Your upper body will not grow properly if you don't train legs. Literally, if you train legs more than you train upper body, your upper body will actually become bigger without you even training it. A lot of people don't know that, right? But I'm telling you now, through years of like trial and error. So don't take the path that I used to take. I used to skip legs a lot. I'm not even gonna lie, but I don't anymore, thankfully. So you have to do legs. So do it with squats. Invest in a barbell, or you can literally just do like body weight squats, but just do high reps. So it's actually like it tears the muscle and then it rebuilds, and it's gonna help you in all realms. And I'm gonna make a specific video on like how exactly to train and all that. But you can go watch my workout, the few workout videos that I made. And with that being said, peace.